What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Exodia-Man, and I'm here at the Hartford Regionals. And this man right now, he's playing Photon Galaxy. What's your name, buddy?
Hey, my name's Adam. Yeah.
Where you from, Adam?
I'm from New York.
All right, New York.
Yeah, I play Galaxy. I've played it for over a decade.
Okay. And your record today is?
X3.
You lost the last two, correct?
I lost the last. I was close, but I lost the last two.
You might get the invite.
I was at table 8, so there's a good chance I might get 32nd or something.
All right. Any shout outs before we get in deck profile?
Absolutely. Shout out to the entire Galaxy Discord. None of this would be possible without you. And also shout out to the one who topped the Blackpool Regional, who's also on our Discord.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you guys.
All right, so let's get into your deck profile.
Sure. All right, so we start with 3 Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon. It's the heart and soul of the deck. If you go first, you're going to burn through all 3 of them. You're going to need that resource. Then we have 1 Afterglow Dragon. This is what enables your crazy 11,000 attack, 1 punch KO.
So you might.
Okay.
Yeah, but also, when it's detached, just summoning a free Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon makes it a strong extender in its own right. And then Photon Emperor. This card's crazy. Summons itself from the graveyard. It is a level 8 Photon, because we're playing 2 archetypes here, right? Whether something's Galaxy or Photon matters. And a bonus normal summon is insane. But there's something about these 5 cards. These are what we call the bricks, right? The bricky level 8s.
Yes.
I don't want a brick, so I'm not running more than 5, right? We don't want to run more than we have to. If we want to add more level 8s into the deck, we can add Braves, right? So this pads our level 8 count. It's an extender. It can be level 4 or 8 on the field, and in some situations it could even help close games because it can become a 4K attacker later in the game. Now,
What do you like to?
Soldier, yes. This is not a Cyber Dragon card. Soldier is so good, people would use it to search itself. Now, what if it could search half the monsters in your deck instead, right?
Yes.
You want to see this every game. Wizard. Wizard is just a very flexible card. Whereas Soldier combos with any other light monster at all, Wizard combos with pretty much anything else in the deck. And now that we get another normal summon, we can use its effect twice because it's not once per turn. So it's extremely flexible, and it's the main normal summon of the deck.
It's amazing, right, Chris?
Yes, this deck is great.
Then we have 1 Summoner. Summoner, when there's stuff in the graveyard, it's your best summon, right? If the graveyard is loaded, because you can revive Wizard, use Wizard again, revive and exceeds, right? It's an important combo tool, but we have enough normal summons in the deck, we only run 1. If we want it, we'll search. 3 orbitals, it's an Omni Searcher. Jumper. So Jumper is the promo.
Jump! Everybody just jump! All right, so what Jumper does?
So we were hyped for this card. So it has 2 effects. One is when it's sent to the graveyard, by any means, you get to search a spell or trap card. Photon or Galaxy spell or trap card.
Okay.
The second effect allows you to stall the battle phase by summoning it from your hand. Now, the battle phase stall can actually come up, especially against battle phase reliant decks like early. You can end up preventing them from making their Zeus or making them get a big Happy, which can actually let you grind them out. But the main reason we play this is for the spell and trap search. When Photon Hypernova came out, the deck worked again, but it just wasn't there. And Photon Jumpers have made this, especially because we have foolish cards that came out with Hypernova that we didn't have enough targets for. So this card suddenly became a search any spell or trap card in your deck. And this works on either player's turn. We can put it back underneath our monsters, and then when that monster is outed by the opponent, it goes to grave to get another search, right? So we're plussing so much off this. And it's a level 4 Photon, so you could target it with your, trances. You don't have to run through it, but this card is actually what revolutionized the deck.
Okay.
Now we have the kind of
Photon right here.
yeah, these are like the kind of sus inclusions, but yeah.
So one.
One Thrasher, 3 Vanisher.
Okay.
Vanisher is a really important combo tool. It's a free summon and a plus. You get a free Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, and they're good Exceeds material.
Yes.
But they both have restrictions that can make them somewhat clunky. But for lack of better extenders in the deck, it's pretty safe to go up on these because if you want more gas, your other options are like what, Trade-in, Photon Sanctuary, which aren't bad, but like you can't really go wrong with Photon Warriors.
Okay.
So that's all the monsters.
Spells.
3 Galaxy 100.
Okay.
This is the modern playstyle of the deck. You get to Foolish a card, so you could mill Jumper Emperor, which is a free summon or a free search, basically. But you also get to banish the opponent's extra deck.
Oh my god.
Right? So
For real? That's crazy.
going first, you get to see what they're playing, and then like if you're careful, you can be like, oh, they're on tier, I'm gonna make Dweller, right?
Yes.
But also just being able to rip out key cards, key combo pieces, or key board breakers. Like if Underworld Goddess is a problem to your board, you could go to Underworld Goddess. If they're playing Cybers and they only have like 1 Splash Mage, 1 Transcode, you could get rid of both because we are going to trigger this every turn. On our turn and on their turn.
That's crazy.
2 banishes is extremely impactful.
It's effective, really effective. That's crazy.
This is a 1-card playmaker, right? So summon 1 from the grave, 1 from the deck. Basically a free Exceeds monster. It locks you into the archetype, but if you're playing a pure build like I am, that's something you could definitely afford. This card can just instantly win games if it resolves. I run 2. I probably only need to resolve once per game, but I feel more comfortable having it 2, and I'm happy to see it in my hand. You have 1, you summon 1. It's a brick, but it's good. If we want it, we're gonna search it. 0. Okay, so I doubted this card. I thought this card was bad, but you know what? There are other like extenders you could run for more Galaxy spell names, like Number's Last Hope, which is technically a Galaxy card, but this is the least bricky of them, and it has surprising follow-up potential. Right? You could revive an Exceeds and then just stack more on top of it, or revive Emperor, and since Emperor is not an activated effect, you still get the bonus normal summon. So. I need to play around with them more, but it's not a brick, right? And I don't want to run bricks because we already have 5. 5 is enough.
5 is enough.
And we have Rhoda.
Alright.
So for our tech cards...
The hand traps?
Yep. I have 7 slots in this deck. I've been leaning more towards gas lately. Okay. So got 3 Imperms, 3 Droplet, and I'm willing to dump cards. You know, you could dump Jumper, you could dump 100 that's sitting on the field. They're going first, but like they're mainly for going second, right? If you're OTKing them, you're okay dropping your whole hand. I don't want to go into the grind game going second. I just want to OTK them, right? And 1 Ogre. This is a spicy pick. It has some interesting matchups, like with Unchained, you can pop the Unchained Link. With like Rescue, it seems useless, but if they make Terahertz and you chain this, they lose their Terahertz, right?
Yes.
So like, and again, like these, they're kind of board breakers that don't play into talents, because you could also use them in the end phase or on the opponent's turn, on your turn, so yeah.
Going to the extra deck now, right?
Alright, where to start here? Cypher X. This is an interesting card because it has a different ruling in the TCG than the OCG, but this gives your board lingering targeting protection through the next opponent's turn, right? Which means like a lot of decks can struggle with that, like Rescue. They can't target anything. Or like Infernoble, they can't even equip anything to you, right? It varies by matchup, but you'd be surprised. Even if every deck is running Fenrir, and now Fenrir can't hurt your board. So lingering target protection is strong. Then we have, I'm kind of going backwards in order of rank, but yeah, full armor and blade. These are Exceeds that you stack on top of your other monsters, right?
Yes.
So you have your like defensive wall sitting here. When you need to, you turn into a 4K that can pop the opponent's stuff, right?
Yes.
So
It's crazy.
these like kind of trivialize the effect of spot negation on your rank 8s because you could just keep ranking them up here. And the these pops can win games, and they're huge, like 4K, bro.
4K, bro.
The famous guys, the monsters that strike fear in the hearts of opponents. I'm hitting you for 11,000 attack. I'm hitting you for 16,000 attack, right? These guys get absolutely enormous. Yeah. So, and it's in no small part due to Afterglow Dragon, which has the ability to double their attack from it's already like 7,000 to like
It's crazy.
Yeah. This guy you can make on top of him, or you can make him raw with 3 8s. He's immune to monster effects if you make him right, but the key here is that this guy's usually enough. But if you have this, right, I can detach Afterglow, and then summon Galaxy's Photon Dragon.
Okay.
This guy activates the damage step. He activates at the start of the battle phase.
Wow.
So if the opponent has like one annoying monster in the way, I can like get rid of it with this, right?
Okay.
And then just one bang, right?
One hit.
Right, it's over.
It's over. It's crazy.
We have our 2 defensive cards, right? The Spell Negate and the Monster Negate. So you see a lot of people playing this card lately, but it has more effects than they get, right? I'm also indestructible, I also destroy what I negate, and I get a free search on the opponent's turn, right?
Okay.
So...
$60.
Yeah. So,
Crazy, for real?
yeah. This the defensive bastion of Galaxy. And now I also want to bring up these 2 cards here. So Galaxy Photon Dragon is our new like searcher. Like this is what makes like stuff like Thrasher and Vanisher good, right? We make a rank 4, we can search things, we can re-level things, and it gives all your other monsters 3,500 attack, right?
Okay.
So this guy over here protects all monsters with 2,000 or higher attack from destruction by card effect or by battle.
That's crazy.
This guy gives all other lights 500, meaning he now protects himself. So you have your whole board. If you make a board, you don't have to make this board, right? There are usually 2 variants of boards. One that looks like this, and one where you like go all out and like you commit to making a board
Something like this.
But the crazy thing is that this whole board is untargetable by card effects, indestructible by card effects, and this guy can redirect attacks to himself not once per turn. And thanks to this guy, he has 3,500 attack, so they can't even attempt to break this lock by attacking into the weak guys. They need to deal with a completely... Oh, and like I said, remember? We have Galaxy 100. Their underworld goddess of the closed world that they're going to use to out this board is gone. Their Zeus is gone, right? So this board, like, Unchained actually cannot break this board, right? And that deck is notorious for playing through interruption. If you make the full board, Unchained usually cannot break this. You save the negate for the board breaker every time. Do not... The biggest mistake is using this too liberally, right? Save it for the board breaker. Alright, I think we're almost done with the extra deck. Cypher Dragon is used as a base for Exceed stacking into this guy.
Okay.
But also he can steal the opponent's monsters one by one, which can deny them floating effects. I actually took out Zeus for this guy.
Okay.
I was afraid of Mikanko, right? Mikanko does a similar thing to us, where they have the untargetable, indestructible, can't be beaten by battle board, thanks to that green girl who's like so good, right? This is a non-targeting, non-destruction out to monsters. And it's a Galaxy Eyes name, so you can still use it as another base for stacking into like full armor, right?
Okay.
So there's that. Our amazing archetypal link. Recycles resources, pops stuff on their turn.
She's broken.
And then
Babushka and Duella.
we have some tech slots, right? This is mainly for Telements.
Yep.
You can use it against Unchained. If you can't make the full board, you can still go into this. But I'd rather make the full board if I can. And this is Plan B against Flaunderies.
You hate that deck.
Plan B for Baguska.
Okay.
You get Shifter, you make this. Alright, I think that's
And your sideboard?
sideboard, so... This definitely could have used some work. I was not prepared for
A lot of things.
the Infernoble matchup especially.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't stop. I drolled them, it didn't even matter, right?
I did it.
So, let's see what we got here. 2 Ash Blossom. Ash is still a good card against Labyrinth and Branded and all that stuff. I'm running a lot of 2-0s because there are so many decks in this meta, it's hard to cover everything.
Yes.
2 Drolls. I might even up this to 3 because this is just so good right now. Salesman. So
Salesman.
this is an interesting card. I think this is one of the most underrated cards in this meta, right? It's a guaranteed out to anything against decks that don't make a spell negate, right? If you call Unchained Soul of Rage, they are not getting the floating effect, and they are not getting the link effect. Even if they try to kill their own guy and revive it, it's a guaranteed out. Or like, what if I draw the out the link monster? Then I could just call like the DDD, or even the trap, right? And this is like against Pearly, bro. Call Noir. They can't get around it. It beats double Noir, and like I don't in this deck specifically, like you could run like I don't know Herald of the Abyss. I don't care if they draw 3 cards off Noir, off of this field spell. Take them. I'm OTKing you this turn, right? I'm not playing the grind game. So Salesman is nice, and it has a lot of interesting matchups.
Cyclone, Harvey,
not much to say here. We have the archetypal like toolbox here. So Hyper Galaxy is searchable, removal, monster removal. This is searchable, anything removal, although a bit harder to use. And this is a time card. This can burn for over 2,000 damage easily. I did not have to use it today though. But
time card is crazy.
If it comes up, you do have a searchable time card, and it will burn more than most archetypes do. But the key is, this card also helps you play through D-Barrier, right? Because you'd be surprised how much damage you can deal with the you get 2 Galaxy-sized Photon Dragons on the field with this thing right now. And this is important against trap matchups that are gonna. We don't have trap negates in this deck.
Really?
So, yeah. We don't have spell negates. So if they set 5 and are like, all right, I go first. They set 5 and they're like, I'm gonna flip Tikaboo. I'm gonna flip Skill Drain, right? Well, I added this to my hand in the last turn. Now I can chain it out your Floodgate and save my board, right? But also, even going first, you could set it. There are ways to make it live on the opponent's turn. It's really not that hard. And now we have the ultimate, the strongest counter trap card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is not an exaggeration. This card can single-handedly win games.
That's crazy.
It negates the entire chain of the opponent. So if Tearlaments makes like a 5 chain, okay, if Fluanderies does 1 Empen, 2 Robina, 3 Egon, they're all getting negated. All of them.
Man.
And they can't do anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that basically wraps it. But yeah, I really didn't have much for Inferno. I don't really know what to do against these guys.
I just gotta get back into the lab. All right.
Yeah, that's the profile. I hope that was useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Galaxy is very fun deck.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah.
Deuces.